Hello dear students, now today we would move ahead in this first chapter of class 11th mathematics, that is sets, where we were discussing the types of sets. So today we have some new types of sets here. So first one is equal sets and the second one is equivalent sets. Okay, so what are equal sets? Means two sets A and B are said to be equal if they have exactly same elements. Remember this. Two sets A and B are said to be equal sets. Why? When you would say both A and B are equal sets, if both of these sets have same elements. Remember. Second one, equivalent set. See the basic difference between these two also. Equivalent set means two finite sets A and B are said to be equivalent if NA is equals to NB. Means both of having the same number of elements. See the difference? Here we have same elements. Both should be having the same elements. Here the number of elements should be same. The cardinal number of A and the cardinal number of B should be equal. Mean their cardinality should be same. Okay, let me define it again. Let me give you some example. Okay, let's say we have a set P which is having the elements, and let's say we can take here for example ROHT. So these are the elements of the set P. Let's say these are the elements of the set P. Okay, are you getting this? Very good, very good. Now I am taking another set Q which is having the elements 1, 2, 3, 4. So now tell me, here P and Q are which type of sets? Are they equal or are they equivalent? They are not equal definitely, because A and B both should be having the same elements. Here the elements are ROST, here the elements are 1, 2, 3, 4. So both are having the different element. So clearly you can see that P and Q are not equal sets. Okay, but whether they are equivalent, we have to check it. Check out the cardinality of P, set P. How many elements are here? 1, 2, 3, 4 elements. This is the cardinal number or cardinality of P. Now find out the cardinality of Q. How many elements are? Again 4 elements. So both are having the same cardinality. So you can say P and Q are the example of equivalent sets here. So P and Q are what? Equivalent set. They are not equal sets. Okay, because their cardinality is same. If the cardinality is same, then you would call such sets as the equivalent sets. Okay, now let me give you one more set here, that is R, and let's say it is having the element 4, 3, 2, 1. Now tell me just, what is the relation between Q and R? Q and R, if you see, Q is having the element 1, 2, 3, 4. R is also having the element 1, 2, 3, 4. Order doesn't matter. Okay, whatever the way you are just writing the elements, that doesn't matter. Okay, but here you can see Q and R both have same elements. 1 here, 1 here, 2 here, 2 here, 3 here, 3 here, 4 here, 4 here. So here you can say Q and R, set Q and set R are equal sets. So these are the example of equal sets. And these are the example of set P and Q. These are the example of equivalent sets. Are you getting it? Very good. Okay, now let me move further. Okay, now you can see every equal set means having the same elements. Is it clear? Having the same elements. So if you see here, the cardinal number of Q is 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 element. Cardinal number of R, that is also 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 element. So both are having the same cardinal number. It means both are equivalent set also. Remember this. Here these two sets are equal sets as well as equivalent sets. Okay, so it implies what? It implies whenever the sets are equal, they are going to be equivalent sets also. And whenever the sets are equivalent, it doesn't mean that they are equal sets. Like here, P and Q are equivalent set, but they are not equal set. But here Q and R are equal set and they are equivalent also. So we can say every equal set every equal sets are, or you can say each equal sets are equivalent set, or you can say all equal sets are equivalent sets. So I can write here all equal sets are equivalent sets. Yes or not? All equal sets are equivalent sets, because equal sets having the same cardinal number, like here. So if they are having the same cardinal number, so you would call this as equivalent set also. Are you getting it or not? Very good. So it implies what? It implies all equal sets are equivalent sets. But vice versa, it is not true. All equivalent sets are not equal sets. Sometimes, yes, it can be possible that yes, some equivalent sets are equal also. Okay, but all the time it is not. Okay, so all equal sets are equivalent set, and vice versa, it is not true there. Are you getting this? So this is how we have defined equal sets and equivalent sets. Just note it down, then we would move further. So now here we have two more types of sets. So first one is subset. What is a subset? A set A is called subset of B if and only if, double F I have written, if and only if all the elements of A are in B. What does it mean? Let's say we have a set B which is having the element 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we have a set A which is having the element 1, 3, 5. Now you can see all the elements of A are in B also. 1, 3, 5. Yes or not? So all the elements of A are in B also. So you can say A is what? A is the subset of B. So this is how you would be writing this. A is the subset of B. Are you getting this? Are you getting this? Are you getting? Very good. Now what is a superset? Superset means if A is subset of B, then B is what? Then B is superset of A. Are you getting? Yes. If A is subset of B, then B is called a superset of A. So you would be writing it like this. B is superset of A. Okay? Because B contains all the elements of A. So why? So that is why B is what? B is a superset. And A is a subset. How? Because the elements of A, all the elements of A are there in B. If all the elements, remember this, if and only if all the elements of A are in B, then only you can say yes, A is the subset of B. Had it been one more elements, let's say 6. So in that case, A would not have been the subset of B. Had it been one more element, let's say one more element here now, 6. So is it possible that A is subset of B? For the condition is what? All the elements of A should be under B. But here we have an element 6 which is not there in B. So in this case we cannot say that A is a subset of B. But if only these are the elements here, so then we can say all the elements of A are there in B. So we can say A is what? A is a subset of B. If A is a subset of B, then B is what? Then B is superset of A. B is superset of A. Okay. Now sometimes here we have two types of subset. One is known as proper subset. Proper subset. Another one is also known as improper subset. So if I am writing A is a subset of B, I can write it A is a subset of itself also. Yes or not? A is what? A is a subset of itself, because all the elements are there in A itself. So I can write it as A is a subset of A. Yes or not? So here this one set would be known as the improper set, because there we have not properly defined it. But if I am writing A, all the elements of A are there in B, so I can write it A is a subset of E. Simply this one way I also can write it A is a subset of B. If all the elements are there in B, so in this one case, this would be the example of proper subset. So A would be what then? A would be the proper subset. Okay, because all the elements of A are there in B, so I would write it as A is a subset of B. So I would not be writing here equal. This one sign. Okay, so this is how we can see the basic difference between proper subset and the improper subset also. Are you getting this? Just note it down, then we would move further. And now the last one is the universal set. What is a universal set? A universal set, we are representing the universal set by U. Okay, so a universal set is a set which has elements of all the related sets without any repetition of elements. Let's say we have two sets here, A and B. So what would be the universal set of A and B? So the universal set of A would be having all the elements of A and B. So if I am writing the universal set here, so it would be having all the elements of A and B without repetition, because one has been repeated, so I would be writing it only once. So if I am writing the universal set of A and B, so I would be writing the elements 1, 2, 3, then A, then B, then C. So this is the universal set of A and B. This is how you are writing. So what is a universal set? A universal set is a set which has elements of all the related sets. Means the related sets are A and B here. So it is containing all the elements of A and B. So we would call this as the universal set. Are you getting this? Okay. That is all for today. Now would be discussing some question related to these types of sets later in the lecture cell. Till then, stay tuned and keep watching. Thank you. Have a good day.